Hello Toby and Beer Life and John Brown. I'm surprised we're still live. It's not normally this quiet here, by the way. There's a festival on in Eaton Park, and I think it's taken away a lot of the customers. Hi there, Beer. I've parked in the shade here, so I've kept fairly cool. The car is only registering 21 degrees. It would have been more if we'd been out in the sun. So let's get back home. We're getting on with the roofs on these houses now. See the yellow signs in front of us, no access to concert traffic. That's what I was talking about. That's why I didn't go in Eaton Park this week, because there's a concert being planned for today and tomorrow. The last big concerts in the park were the Stone Roses one. One's just above a year ago now. It's hard to think it's almost a year since Chris Brownie died. End of this month it will be. They never did get to the bottom of that one. See, they've been out with the white paint, repainting all these nice white lines. This big white thing's been on my boot all the way along since we left the first roundabout. There you go, that's a bad place to stop. It's broken down, it must have. To report that hole, it's getting worse. Well, Mr. Mike thought that this data would run out quicker than it is doing. Looks like we're going to get all the way home with it. Having said that, it'll probably go off now. almost 6 o'clock. It means the news will be on, doesn't it?
BBC News at 6 o'clock. This is Susan Ray. Good evening. Doctors in South Africa say Nelson Mandela is in a serious but stable condition after being admitted to hospital with a recurring lung infection. MPs have called for the government to answer questions about allegations that GCHQ obtained information from internet companies through a secret American spy program. Donors at a conference in London have pledged £2.7 billion to help feed the world's poorest children. England's cricketers have set Australia a target of 270 to win at Edgbaston. Nelson Mandela, who played a leading role in defeating whites-only rule in South Africa, became the first president of a democratic republic, remains seriously ill in hospital. Doctors treating him for a lung infection say his condition is stable. He was admitted during the night, but his doctors say he's able to breathe on his own. Nelson Mandela is 94 years old. His wife, Graça Machel, has been at his bedside. Our Africa correspondent, Andrew Harding, reports.
The news that Nelson Mandela is back in hospital was announced by his close friend and presidential spokesman, Mac Maharaj.
Around 1:30 this morning, his condition had deteriorated to the point where they felt that they should immediately hospitalize him. He is now in a hospital in Pretoria, and the doctors have reported late this morning that his condition is serious but stable.
Later, it was confirmed that Mr. Mandela is breathing unaided. It's the third time this year that the 94-year-old has been admitted to hospital. He's battled against pneumonia and is known to be extremely frail. Mr. Mandela remains a revered figure in South Africa, but public concern about his health is tinged with a sense of the inevitable.
I think that the majority of the South African population has sort of resigned themselves to that fact that he is in his advanced stages and he will pass away eventually.
Because he's been in and out too many times, you kind of assume that he's going to be out this time as well. I just hope he gets well. But as a country, I guess at this point we start assuming the worst as well. But
What does he mean for South Africa?
for us, he represents freedom.
Tonight, Nelson Mandela remains in hospital with close relatives at his bedside.
There's growing pressure on the government to clarify how much ministers know about allegations that the British Intelligence Centre, GCHQ, has been spying on people's internet use. The agency is accused of monitoring emails, photos and videos from material gathered by an American spy program by the world's biggest internet companies. The opposition said the Foreign Secretary, William Hague, should address the very real public concerns about the claims with a statement to the House of Commons on Monday. Here's our political correspondent, Chris Mason.
The clamour for answers from ministers has grown louder. What?
Somebody said earlier that Google collects more information about its users than the government does. And I don't dispute that fact. It's been known for a long time that they do. What they do with it is another matter. They're supposedly used, I think, to direct their advertising towards applicable adverts for you to buy stuff from. But there's more to it than that, I'm sure. Anyway, that's it for now. I'm going to stop the broadcast. We've not quite run out of data, but I'm going to stop it now. Okay?